こんにちは、TV グルーヴの山崎小麦です。今日は UK 出身ポップデュオザ・ティンティンズのお二人にインタビューしたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you、ありがとう。
じゃあ早速インタビューしていきたいと思います。まず日本にはこれまでも何度か来られているようですが、今回の来日ではどんなことをしましたか？
Well, this is the first time, maybe in like 5 times that we've been here, I think. Maybe more, maybe, I think around 5, that we have managed to actually see, like, not work for 2 days. So we played a show in Osaka, and then we travelled here and we played a show in Tokyo, and then we've had 2 days of complete freedom walking around Tokyo. So we've been shopping in Harajuku, we went to see a shrine, we went to Robot Restaurant, which I know is really touristy, but it's amazing. Yeah, lots of things. It was amazing. We've never seen anything like that ever in our entire lives.
We've decided we want to get our stage set risers on remote control units so we can fly around the stage and not have to walk anymore.
Is that, do Japanese people think that's crazy as well?
ちょっとギラギラしすぎてるっていうか。
It's too kind of shiny, flashy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
have you seen the way we've taken over the interview and we're interviewing you now?
Yeah. Great, really nice.
We always love coming here. It's just a great place. I mean, you know, as a nation, you kind of you do really love to accept, you know, outside bands, European bands, I guess. And for us to be able to come this far away from Europe and to be able to play shows where there's energy, and you've got great fashion sense, you've got great pop culture here, colour, video. It's really good. We get a lot from it as well. So it's great to be here. There's only 2 of us on stage. I know we have a DJ on stage as well now called Boix, who we met in Ibiza, and we've dragged him around. Who's a great guy. He's doing a lot of scratching and stuff. But I think if there's more people on stage, there's less energy. Like you get a traditional 5-piece band with drums, bass, guitar, keyboards. Everybody's got their roles to play. With me and Katie, we have to do a lot more because everything's live, even though we use loops, but we trigger everything live. So Katie has to make sure she's hitting buttons at the right time, she's playing guitar, she throws the guitar off, she's obviously singing, and the energy between me playing drums and then, you know, loops, what I do on hands when I join the DJ, it creates a lot more atmosphere on the stage, and for us it makes it much more enjoyable. I guess it's selfish like that, and then it obviously that excitement that we have, that risk that we have, the things going wrong translates to the audience.
No, I had a piece of paper and I was like that, reading it. So I tried it in Osaka and nobody understood 1 word. So I tried a little bit harder and I said to the audience in Japanese, do you understand me? And they said yes, so I was like, oh, they understand. But it's very difficult for me. We met in London. And we were both in different bands and we didn't particularly like the bands that we were in. I'm originally from Manchester and Jules moved down to Manchester. He had friends there that were studying. And yeah, as soon as I'd heard that he'd come to Manchester, we decided to start writing songs together. And that was it. I was working with a girl called Ting Ting in a clothes shop in Manchester. And I thought she had it sounds cool, it just sounds cool. I didn't realise that it sounded quite similar to a Japanese word that meant cute penis, but I didn't know that. Or I wouldn't have called the band that. But I asked her what it meant, and she said that I think it was like Chinese Mandarin, it means like listen, listen, and in Cantonese it means like an old bandstand. It might be the other way around, but it just made it even cooler, so we stole her name.
And it's also the sound of innovation on an open mind.
Yeah.
Ding ding when you have like a light bulb moment.
There you go.
I should get my list out.
List of faults.
Personalities. I think Katie is really spontaneous. She really always surprises everybody how creative she is, but without overworking.
Lazy, you're saying I'm lazy.
She has this amazing ability to kind of be making clothes and patterns and drawing and, you know, living in this bubble world, crazy world, and then all of a sudden none of it completely makes sense when you're looking at it from a distance, and then she'll go on stage and pow, it's like, now I get it. And she does the same with clothes. She makes clothes and stuff, and you think that's going to look really rubbish, and then she puts it together and it's like, oh my god, that's really good. She does the same thing in her songwriting. It's not like, you know, I play 5 or 6 instruments and I'll be sitting there with guitars and loops, and you kind of hear the structure building with Katie. It's all in her head, and I think that's very much her character. Same with, you know, like when we travel on buses, it's kind of chaotic with Katie. There's no kind of routine. It's just like crazy mess, cases and crew trying to, like, there'd be Katie walking into a dressing room and there'd be like guys walking in with 3 suitcases of all these crazy clothes, and she'll wear the same thing for 5 gigs, not the very same thing.
This in the gig.
She'll wear the same for 5 gigs.
Suitcases, things.
Yeah, and I'll be like, why have you just brought 5 suitcases worth of clothes and you're wearing the same thing? She's like, that's the way it is. Was that?
Jules is a perfectionist, so he's the complete opposite to me. He's very disciplined. He's
Be nice.
He's very optimistic. I have a friend and he says Jules is one of the most optimistic people he's ever met. Jules doesn't go, you couldn't tell Jules you can't do that. He wouldn't see that. He'd just find a way to do things. So it makes us quite a good dynamic within the band, because he's very disciplined and, you know, creative. There's a lot of people, I'm totally creative and that's it. That's all I can do. I'm useless at everything else, like terrible. And Jules is good at everything, which is really irritating. Pop, no, pop music, catchy songs that are catchy and we both love it. Yeah, pop.
I think so. I think that's the thing that brings us together, of all our different influences. The love for kind of really good, strong pop, whether it's mainstream pop, alternative pop. I think we also really love secretly stuff that crosses over.
Yeah, it's a very difficult area to actually write, isn't it, if it's pop?
Yeah, stuff that kind of, when we say pop music, it's the stuff that a lot of people hear, because it gets, you know, it gets out there. But what's really special when stuff comes from somewhere that you don't really expect it to do that well, and it does. We really love that. When we see a band writing, I mean, I think we come from there as well with the first album. I don't think, well, we certainly didn't think it was going to be as successful, but, you know, us on the label at the time and everybody around us, it crossed over on quite a large scale. So I think we love that about other artists and songs and the history of, you know, great pop music, where it's come from, and you read about it and you think, God, how did that go from just being in a little city from there, and then it's, you know, I think
it's very easy to write like a really cheesy pop song. They're probably the easiest to write. It's the songs that are a pop song that manage to cross over and everybody identify with them, but they're a little bit more cleverer or a little bit more quirky. They're the songs, I think, and the bands that fascinate us, like Talking Heads and Blondie, and like real good pop music. Yeah, completely. It does, and it takes you a while to come back down to earth. Like, we had quite a lot of difficulty writing our second album, just because our lives had changed so much and we hadn't had the time to kind of work out what had happened and where we were. It wasn't a bad thing, but it definitely took us like 6 or 7 months on the second album to just feel normal. I think we both do, but I definitely get very nervous before performing. I always have done. And it's a good thing in a way, but when you stop, because every night you're playing shows for like 3 years, and then you stop and your body's so used to having adrenaline, you know, pumping around it, that when you stop, you just go really odd and can't really feel satisfied with anything. The only time I felt good was when I went on a roller coaster, and I was like, oh, that's what's wrong with me, that I'm missing like this adrenaline. And I don't think that's a healthy thing, but our lives definitely did change, yes. Hello, we are the Ting Tings.
And you're watching TV Groove.
We're very happy to be here in Tokyo. We've been in Japan for about a week now, and we've played 2 concerts. We've loved it. We can't wait to come back. We hope you're all enjoying our new album. Bye bye.